One greetings from the high 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you for joining me. Now Sunday. Up late, as usual, the witching hour. And I got information pertaining to Kaylee Goncalves not receiving a posthumous degree. A lot of universities, colleges, have given people degrees after death. They were attending a university and had the credentials to receive a degree before death. They were awarded their degree to their families. So I am curious to why this young lady did not receive a posthumous degree. I will bring you that sad information. Thank you for joining me. Mia is the source. The name of Kaylee Goncalves, one of the victims of the brutal University of Idaho murders, was missing from the graduation list during the University of Idaho commencement ceremony at ICCU Arena in Moscow on Saturday, December 10th, 2022. According to KXLY, though Goncalves' name was left out, the university authorities remembered the slain students during the graduation ceremony. During the event, President C. Scott Green said, "It's been a rough few weeks for our community. I want to acknowledge an enormous loss in our Vandal family recently. Ethan Chapin, Xana Carnodal, Maddie Mogan, and Kaylee Goncalves were taken from all of us far too soon by senseless acts of violence," he added. Further, he claimed they were bright lights on our campus and cherished members of our community. Let's honor their memory with a moment of silence right now, followed by a song by the Vandaliers that honors the students we lost as well as those students graduating today. Later, the Mass observed a moment of silence for the four slain students at the program, reported KXLY. The event witnessed around 550 students taking the stage to accept their diplomas. Goncalves' name missing from the list of graduated students sparked a discussion over the issue online. Nancy Liu, West Coast correspondent of News Nation, wrote, "Kaylee Goncalves would have been marching in now with other U of I graduates. Sadly, her name is not in the program. Hashtag Idaho4. Hashtag Idaho Murders at News Nation." To which a user wrote, "Shame on you at Idaho University." Another claim, "That is shocking. Surely Kaylee's name should be in it as graduating posthumously. There's obviously a reason for it. Maybe her parents asked for it not to be in it. Not sure why that might be, but maybe so." A tweet read, "I think it is in very poor taste that U of I didn't give her a posthumous degree. I just can't understand why they wouldn't." A user claimed it seemed as though the university wants to distance themselves from the horrid crime. Their focus is on image and optics for students who enroll in the future, i.e., the tour video they just released yesterday. It portrays all roses and unicorns for life at U of I. Another added, "She worked so hard to be able to graduate. They should have given her a chair with her name on it and allowed the parents to come up and get her degree. That's just so wrong." A user explained, "Take a breath, all. Students who graduate in December very commonly walk in May." Let me repeat that. Students who graduate in December very commonly walk in May. Did you report on the moment of the silence? No. Did you ask anyone of U of I what the family wanted? No. This is why you have no business reporting on our tight-knit community. A tweet stated, "Bad mood, not to mention her name in the program. I do believe I heard that there will be a moment of silence, reflection for them, the ceremony. No one wants to ruin a happy occasion. However, the fear that the community feels lingers and casts a huge shadow over it." Another explained, "So very much earned that degree. She very much earned that degree, and the university should have acknowledged it. How sad." One user said, "Really should have included her name. Not only did she work for that, but they should have done something special for her today and left a chair for her as well. Very disrespectful. Highly, I do concur. I feel for the parents. Like her dad said, they sent her to college and they gave her back in a box. The university should have honored these young students, another user tweeted. Nancy Liu, who I brought you commentary, speaking to Banfield on News Nation, says Kaylee Goncalves would have been marching in with U of I graduate Sally. Her name was not in the program. And then it shows the commencement roster. Just bringing all the said information pertaining to this very interesting information. Make sure I'm replying all the information. This article contains remarks made on the internet by individual people and organizations. MEAR cannot confirm them independently and does not support claims or opinions being made online. Glad they said that, because everybody likes to make a row about what is said and not said. Meow.com is the source. How disrespectful is it to work towards a degree and be brutally murdered and not receive the degree? Why not? Why did you all not give her the degree? I don't care about people walking the stage and having another ceremony in May. It's principle. You had a ceremony yesterday. Her name should have been on that, and anybody else's name that earned a degree by their credentials and their grades. It met the criteria, point blank. Whether it was murder, suicide, accident, whichsoever. The manner of death has nothing to do with it. It's out of respect for the dead. And naturally, no one wants to ruin a ceremony talking about death and throughout the entire ceremony. We get it. We get that. But it's disrespectful. Did her parents request a degree for their daughter? I'd like to know. Mr. Goncalves has retained an attorney, public PI, investigator. So has the lawyer instructed him not to speak further? Naturally, a lawyer would. Will he abide by the lawyer's instructions? So far, we have heard nothing since him allegedly hiring a PI and an attorney. But what I'd like to know, did the school ask them about a degree? Did they say yes or no? I can't see the school, the parents not wanting their child to receive the degree. Why not? She went to school. As he said, I sent her there, got her back in a box. So why would he not want his child to have the degree? Although she's deceased, but as I said, it's principle. And due to the fact that he's been rallying for his child, wanting answers from the police department, I can't see that Mr. Goncalves would turn down receiving a degree on behalf of his child. He, the mother, whomever. So why did the school not honor her with a posthumous degree? I'm very curious. This is very strange to me because many people have received, I'm sure, degrees after death. Awards acknowledgement after death. Yes, we know they can't hear it, can't see it. But the fact that she was in school, met the criteria to graduate, received a job offer, if I'm not mistaken, out of state, then one would say she met the credentials and criteria to receive a degree. This is in very poor taste. And as you heard in this commentary, the school allegedly sent out a video pertaining to the school for incoming students. So one would ask, was this in poor taste to put out a video trying to seduce kids to this university? You're entitled to your interpretation. You know, eventually they will send out a video. This is the season for children to apply to school. Fall, winter, spring of the last year in college. High school, excuse me. So therefore, it is what it is. But all these people greedy, wanting money, wanting to push this to the side. Yeah, we're going to put out this. Was this the normal time that they put out their videos for the school? I don't have confirmation. But if I get the information, I will surely bring it to you. When is the time that they send out their videos, pamphlets to the school, to the students, prospective students to apply to this university? I do believe this is very disrespectful to her. I think it was disrespectful not to have a chair there for her. There should have been a chair there with a cap and a gown acknowledging her as a student and a walkie. Out of respect. So this makes the school look very bad. That all you care about is money, because we realize this is a small town of 26,000 plus people, 11,000 in students. One can use their discretion that probably under half actually lives in the town or outside of the town commuting. Some are part-time students, some are full-time students. But nonetheless, this town needs the money, because whenever you have a university in a town, that's usually what fuels the town, its pocketbooks, such as Knoxville, Tennessee. Without the University of Tennessee, Knoxville would be nothing. And anybody that lives here knows the game. Not much to do here as far as entertainment. Many black businesses fail, don't last long. Even places for mixed people to go and patronize, black, white, blue, green. Not many places to go. Not many places to dance, just say, in general. So this is a college town where I live. And without the University of Tennessee, this place would be null and void. There wouldn't even be half the population here. And anybody that lives in this Knoxville general area, they know this. And our population is well greater than Moscow, Idaho. But we thrive on the University of Tennessee. The games, football, basketball, women's basketball, very prevalent here in the South and the East Coast. It is our moneymaker. They did wrong by this young lady. So now this is even more of a stab in the back. Police department and the district attorney can't agree on commentary to release to the public. Now we have a school not acknowledging the dead. And as I said, whether she passed away in her sleep, car accident, or murdered, she should have received a degree. There should have been a chair there for her and any other student that was graduating that passed away. That's out of respect for the dead. And I'd like to know why not. Let's take a small journey to this university. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. We'd like to donate to this great network. $Beganji 129, Cash App, all super chats, stickers are welcome during this live stream. All right. I'm going to bring you a little information pertaining to posthumous degrees. This is coming out of the University of Minnesota. The university may grant undergraduate, graduate, and professional degrees posthumously if a college determines that a deceased student has completed sufficient coursework to be awarded a degree. The college, Twin Cities only, or chief academic officer or designee on each system campus has the authority to grant the degree posthumously. Graduate students must have completed enough work toward the thesis or dissertation if required for the degree. To recognize the academic achievement of students who have died and to empower colleges and vice chancellors to award degrees posthumously where the student has completed enough of the planned degree program. There are no procedures, blah, blah, blah. This is pertaining to state of Minnesota. So basically, if they meet the criteria, they could get a degree in the state of Minnesota. Posthumous, following or occurring after one's death. Responsibilities: Office of the Registrar. Post the degree to the student's record. Work with the Department of College to facilitate appropriate presentation of degree to the student's family. College, Twin Cities. In consultation with the academic department of the degree, determine if posthumous degree should be awarded. Notify the Office of Registrar of the request and approval to issue a posthumous degree. Facilitate appropriate presentation of the degree. As a courtesy, notify the executive vice president and provost of the award of the posthumous degree. Collegiate office. This is pertaining to other jurisdictions: Crookston, Duluth, Morris, and Rochester in Minnesota. In consultation with the academic department of the degree, make a request of the campus chief academic officer that the degree be awarded. Let's see. This is just another state, but just giving you information pertaining to their procedures. Here it says, have a good faith believe there has been a violation of university policy. Please report concerns to your supervisor, the appropriate university administrator, to investigate the matter or submit a report to U-Report. And this is out of Minnesota. But as you see, all you have to do is just inquire. But there are no legal procedures pertaining to one getting a degree. Another source. This is out of Texas. A posthumous degree may be awarded for a deceased student with the approval of the dean of the college in which the student was enrolled majoring. A family member of the deceased may contact the appropriate dean to begin the process of requesting a posthumous degree. A student who passes away while enrolled and pursuing a degree may be considered for a posthumous degree based on the following criteria. Undergraduate students who have completed 80 hours or 2/3 of their degree requirements may qualify for a posthumous degree. The hours completed by the student do not have to apply towards the degree and may include transfer courses. Graduate and specialist students who have completed 2/3 of their degree requirements may qualify for a posthumous degree. Doctoral students who have advanced to candidacy may qualify for a posthumous degree. Number 1, the college dean or graduate dean receives word of the student death and requests for posthumous degree from a family member of university representative. So either the family member can inquire or a university representative. Notifies dean of student's office of student death to ensure the student record has been updated. Verifies that the student has met the requirements. Contacts the university registrar to process a diploma and notation on the student's transcript. The office of the university registrar. Number 2. Receives email requests from college dean or graduate dean. Post a notation to the student's transcript. Ensures dean or student's office has submitted death notification and student record has been updated. Number 4, prints the posthumous diploma and notifies the dean's office to pick up the diploma and diploma cover. On the diploma, the words awarded posthumously will appear. On the transcript, a notation will be added to indicate a posthumous degree. The college dean or graduate dean will contact the student's family to invite them to a private diploma presentation ceremony or offer to mail the diploma directly to the family. So, here in the state of Texas, the college dean or graduate dean will contact the student's family to invite them to a private diploma presentation ceremony or offer to mail the diploma directly to the family. This is coming out of the Office of University Registrar, San Marcos, Texas, Texas State University thereof. This is just to give you a synopsis that it can be done if indeed the family inquires a degree or a university representative. So I'm going to ask this question again. Did the school contact the family about giving this young lady, Kaylee Goncalves, a posthumous degree? Number 2, did the family contact the school about receiving a degree and or attending the ceremony, having her name mentioned, and receiving the degree on her behalf? Thank you for joining me. Very interesting information. Very interesting information. Okay, so I brought you 2 sources pertaining to posthumous degrees: policy.education and registrar.txt.education. Let's see what we can find out about the University of Idaho. The University of Idaho is a public land grant research university in Moscow, Idaho. It is the state's land grant and primary research university and the lead university in the Idaho Space Grant Consortium. The University of Idaho was the state's sole university for 71 years until 1963. The average cost of after aid is $14,000. Graduation rate 59%. Acceptance rate 74%. Graduation rate is for first-time, full-time undergraduate students who graduated within 6 years. They were the largest group of students, 63%, according to the 2020-21 college scorecard data. Average annual cost is for first-time, full-time undergraduate students receiving federal aid. This source is by the U.S. Department of Education. Very interesting information. I wanted to bring you this so you can get more information pertaining to this school. One second. Trying to bring up everything pertaining to this school. Acceptance rate, 74%. Graduation rate, 59%. Let's talk about the ranking. One second. Is University of Idaho prestigious? University of Idaho is ranked number 176 out of 443 national universities. Schools are ranked according to their performance across a set of widely accepted indicators of excellence. What GPA do you need for the University of Idaho? They've got several. 3 to 4 grade point average. ACT composite any test score. SAT any test score. Then it goes from different ones from 260 to 2.99 any test, 2.50 to 259 any test score, 17 to 36. ACT, then SAT 830 to 1600, 240 to 249, SAT 19 to 36, and SAT 910 to 1600. Does Idaho have a good university? U of I is second among nation's public colleges. The University of Idaho is the best value in the West. The U.S. News and World Report ranking it earned in both 21 and 22, and again in 2023, the best value rankings. Compare overall quality of the institution related to its price and any need-based aid or discounts given. What is the number one college in Idaho? Brigham Young. Founded by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Rexburg, Idaho in 1888, Brigham Young University offers over 100 degree options, including both bachelor's and associate's degree. Is University of Idaho a dry campus? How interesting. The sale, use, or possession of illegal drugs is a violation of this code. Sale or illegal possession or illegal consumption of alcoholic beverages is prohibited in facilities owned, leased, or operated by UI and on campus grounds. Is 3.0 GPA a good university? A 3.0 GPA indicates a grade average of B and makes you eligible to apply to a wide range of schools. So yes, 3.0 is considered good. Is it hard to get into the University of Idaho? University of Idaho admissions is selective with an acceptance rate of 81%. Half the applicants admitted to the University of Idaho have an SAT score between 990 and 1220, or an ACT score of 20 and 28. A lot of questions as far as living in Idaho. What is Idaho best known for? Interesting. What is a dry campus? Interesting. Dry college campuses do not allow any students to drink on campus even after they reach the legal drinking age. This rule extends to all parts of the campus, including eating facilities and college housing. Dry colleges typically do not serve alcoholic beverages at the university events. This was uploaded December 7th, 2020. Is the College of Idaho a religious school? I don't think this is the same school. But anyway, it says the College of Idaho is a member of the Association of Presbyterian Colleges and Universities, APCU. We promote a campus environment of unrestricted academic inquiry, free religious expression, campus society in which diverse faith perspectives are practiced with dialogue and respect. Now, this is the College of Idaho. I do not believe this is the same as the university. But just bringing you said information. Is the University of Idaho conservative? Interesting. Guess I have to open that up. They didn't answer that. Either way, this is very sad to me that she did not receive a degree posthumously. Let me bring you this information and I'm going to check out of here. The New York Post is my last source. Cops warn the killer of University of Idaho students could strike again during this weekend's commencement. This is very interesting information. Much maligned Idaho cops under pressure to find the killer who murdered 4 college kids last month warned locals and visitors to be careful Saturday as winter commencement festivities got underway. Authorities cautioned those in the area to stay vigilant and travel in groups during the celebration because the killer is still on the loose, the Daily Mail reported. With commencement this weekend, there may be an influx of people coming in from out of town. Moscow Police Department and Idaho State Police will provide coverage on campus and in the Moscow area, police said in a statement. As always, we wanted to remind the public to stay vigilant, travel in groups, and communicate with family and friends as you travel. Police Chief James Fry said more officers are being deployed in the streets and at university for the event, but has not announced any real information that would indicate the cops are closing in on a suspect. Moscow police said on Saturday morning that they had more than 10 investigators looking into the murders and that nearly 50 FBI agents are working to crack the case, including a number in Moscow itself. So that number has gone up from, I think, about 44. Very interesting. Very interesting. We're working steady on the investigation. Still, said Fry, we're still pushing forward. Kaylee Goncalves, 21, Madison Mogan, 21, Xana Carnolo, 20, Ethan Chapin, 20, were killed in the early morning hours of November 13th in a home not far from the school campus. After nearly a month, the case remains a mystery, with police and the FBI announcing no suspects or profile of the possible killer. Wow. That's interesting. No suspects or profile. The New York Post is the source. This was uploaded December 10th at 4:41 p.m. Cops warning that the killer could strike again. I find it very interesting that they have given no update to a profile or a suspect, but yet in this commentary by the New York Post, they would warn the general public of the killer striking again. So let's dissect that information. If the killer would decide to strike again, then that means there was no target at that house on King Road. Stay woke. See, my commentary is basically going to be about Kaylee not receiving a posthumous degree. But now that we have this little bit of information at the end, because I wanted to save it at the end of this live stream, why would you warn the students that the killer could strike again for these festivities? So God forbid we go into this Sunday and hear that some other children are dead, then that means you have a serial killer on the loose and not a targeted killer. I find it interesting that you would say that, considering the mishaps between you and the district attorney, the issues you're having with Mr. Goncalves. This will lead one to believe that those murders were not targeted. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding your commentary. What is going on here? Because this is a wicked statement. When you have not given any information pertaining to this investigation, naturally because it is ongoing, and you've had issues with the father of Kaylee. No other words or commentary from the other decedent's parents, family. Why not? He's been the only one making a row pertaining to the death of his child, as if nobody else was murdered brutally. Talking subtly that his child is the target, but not just coming out saying it verbatim. I believe my child was targeted. So now we have this information from the cops saying the killer may strike again. That's a bold statement for some people who can't seem to get it outright information. And I do believe they've hired a resource personnel to give information on behalf of Moscow Police Department. What in God's name is going on? I've tried to have faith in this department, knowing that the FBI and the state police is involved, because I know their rank is higher and they know more and they know how to investigate, gather forensics better. This here is atrocious, because now this goes back to the seesaw of target versus not targeted. And I didn't know if they were just doing that to try to quiet Mr. Goncalves down. But now you're talking about targeting kids because of commencement. So one would wonder, well, do you know something that you're not revealing to the public? Or this is another assumption? Yes, T, something is very off here. Something is very off. Because this is a very bold and bodacious statement to make. To now put fear in the kids, the community. Congratulations, you're graduating, but watch your back, go in groups, because we may have a killer. So then, what are you saying, Chief? Do you know if this was a targeted event or not? 2, why not? 3, why in God's name would you release this to the general public? Because let's hope we do not find out later today somebody has also been stabbed in his or her sleep, plural. Because then that would lead one to believe that there is a madman, woman, people out stabbing college students to death. My. My. This is not good. 1 minute, you guys. Just a second. Redoing my title. This is very wicked. What is going on here? I don't know what to say about this police department. And I'm trying my best not to be negative. I have done my best not to pass any innuendos or gossip in pertaining to this case and the deaths of these children. But this is ridiculous to me. So I'm going to ask this question to the police department, to the chief. Do you know of a serial killer? Because this commentary says you don't have a profile or a suspect. Is that true? Will you confirm that you don't have a profile or a suspects? What would make you give this warning out to the students when you have not given out any information in at least a week or more pertaining to the murders of these kids? Because if you have changed the narrative that no one was targeted, the house was targeted, the kids were targeted, not a specific one was targeted. That's basically what you're saying, that no one was targeted by saying the kids need to watch out. Because what kind of message is that to say to the students and the community? They needed to be aware this weekend because of the ceremonies, graduating ceremonies. How in the world could anyone feel safe anyway when you don't have a suspect? That's number one. That's common sense. Number two, you put out this message that beware, be in groups, blah, blah, blah. Killer may target. Why would you think the killer would target a ceremony or just attack kids because of a ceremony? Make that make sense to me, because I'm confused. Do you know something, Chief, that we don't know? Because now it's time for you to start talking. Because now I'm starting to become very irritated. And when I become irritated, most people know how I rock. I don't want to continue talking about the subject matter because I don't know what I'm saying. So now I have to question anything that's been brought forward by your police department to the media. Most of the he said, she said has come from Mr. Goncalves and nosy, meddling ass people on the ground. Internet junkies. This is why I told you all you can't repeat that stuff and pass that stuff, because one is disrespectful. You don't know who the killer is. You've pointed the finger at different people, a lot of you all, and it's disrespectful because you wouldn't want it to be done to you. And some of you still keep putting it in the chat and on social media, people's pages, Twitter, Facebook. He did it. She did it. They did it. They did it. Every day you change the narrative. Who killed these kids? Well, you don't know who killed these kids because, one, you don't know these children. So how in the hell can you say who the damn killer is? Well, you don't even know these kids from a can of paint. Now you have information coming out by the New York Post, verified here. He's telling you, the police department, somebody from the police department, beware. Thank you, Lisa. Beware of what? How the hell do the kids know who to look for? So now you're saying what? It's another student, it's faculty, staff, some loner, some crazy person. What? Serial killer? What? Somebody angry, mad at the world, hates women? What? What are you saying? You don't have a profile, then how are you going to warn the kids of a killer? This is crazy. This is outrageous. This is crazy because you're now sending mixed messages to the public. Now the queen is crunk. Bad enough you didn't give her a degree posthumously, and now you want to send a stupid message, beware. Prayers for Moscow, Idaho. I'm going to say this one time. If I was anybody living in this small town, I would pack my shit and get out of there. I'm going to say it now during this live stream. These people don't know what the hell's going on, because sending this message out is ridiculous when you're trying to keep, as you say, things to the vest and not speak of the case. So why in the hell would you put this message out? Now, I'm going to wonder who's going to take this back now. Well, we didn't mean it like that. So let's wait for that. Let's wait for the chief to come out and say, he didn't mean it like that. They got it wrong. They misquoted. I would not feel safe in this town if I was a frog, a billy goat. Because you don't know if it is a serial killer. We don't know if it was a target. We don't know if it's just somebody picked the house, picked the kids, saw them, wanted to play funny games. Somebody was mad, disgruntled with the kids, noise complaints. We don't even know what the hell's going on, because as I told you before during my live streams, until you know who the children are, you can't pick a killer, because you've got to know the kids. And I've heard nothing about the kids, who they are, what they've been doing, what they've been involved in. Has any of them been in trouble? Have any of them been an eyewitness to a crime? Any of them had to go to court, testify against somebody? How the hell are you going to pick who the killer is when you don't know the kids? Joe, I don't know, but sending this message out is as if you're asking the killer to go kill somebody. So what are you doing, trying to hype him up to catch him? Who the fuck does that? Hey, we don't know who you are, but we want you to go kill somebody so we can try to catch you, so you can slip up. As I've told you before, it doesn't matter the motive. We're curious, but the person is ill. So his rationale is illogical. And he will kill again because he has not been apprehended. So he is now smelling his own funk, tooting his own horn. He will kill for any other reason. And anybody that thinks he just had a certain reason for killing those kids, Kaylee, Maddie, whomever, Ethan, Xana, you still snuffed out other people. So the motive doesn't matter, because you didn't have to kill the other kids if your target was 1. Your target was 2. And if it's close, if it's a close person, they could have found any other way to kill the kids besides going in the house. Stay woke. Why go in the house and kill them when you could have asked them to go meet you somewhere? Followed them around somewhere. Going to the gym, going to the grocery store. Could have just shot them dead. Everybody else is shooting people. Not trying to promote violence, but let's keep it real. People are shot every day. Why go up in this house and risk being caught? Don't know if they got cameras inside, outside, neighbors got doorbells, to kill 4 people if it was only intended for 1. Oh, Lord have mercy. This case is idiotic at this point. It is utter buffoonery. And I've told you all I do not indulge in gossip pertaining to a suspect and a motive. I've said this for the 1,000th time. You cannot decide on a killer until you know the victims. Nobody is releasing anything pertaining to the victims. Now, is it because students are scared to talk, fearing for the safety, don't want scrutiny to tell us anything negative pertaining to the kids? Because I've brought you that information as to be respectful to the decedents, but we don't know these kids. Could they have been problem kids to somebody else? You like them, but maybe Peter, Paul, Dick don't like them. I'm talking about killing them out in the street. See, nobody listens to nothing I'm saying. If I want you bad enough, I don't need to sneak into your house. I can catch you somewhere out. If I'm watching you, you are my target. I can catch you out. You have to go out. You have to go to school. You have to go to work. Stay woke. Many people are targeted every day and they are not killed in their homes. That's the point I'm making. I think I need to explain myself. If one person is the target, you didn't need to go break into the house or ease into the house or look for an open window or door. You could have caught them somewhere else by themselves. The kids are out. They were out that night. Stay woke. The girls were out alone in the dark. So why would you need to go lie in wait or hide in the house or watch the house? They were out roaming around in the dark. That's my point. You could have easily gotten them out. What's the difference between out in the public and cameras everywhere and going to somebody's house not knowing if they got cameras at the house, cameras inside the house? You don't know what somebody has unless they tell you, no, we don't have cameras here. And I wouldn't even assume that in trying to kill someone. Because only a fool would tell somebody, no, we don't have any cameras here inside or outside. You still have people who have houses with doorbell cameras. And allegedly, that's who clocked the girls coming in, was a doorbell camera from a neighbor. You can't assess the killer until you know the victims. As it's been said, victimology. Who are our victims? Who are they? What have they been doing? Did they piss somebody off, talk crazy to somebody, do something frivolous, stole something from somebody, cut somebody out, said something out of the way, nasty social media post, rebuffed a flirtation, bad relationship, had a fling, didn't want to be bothered anymore? That's for all four. Because now with this stupid article warning the kids of a killer striking, how am I going to believe now that one of the kids was targeted? Rather, one had more wounds sufficient, substantial than the others. And God forbid we wake up later today to find that there is somebody missing and or stabbed to death in his or her bed. Then what? Will you then believe Kaylee or Maddie was the target, or Ethan or Xana? And all the focus has been on those two blonde-haired girls. What about the other two? Because they died as well. Stay woke. And the witch hunt in throwing daggers at all these different people related to these kids is disrespectful because you have no proof of who killed these kids. It was a savvy, brazen move to walk up in this house and kill these people. Very savvy, very crafty, and he got away with it. He got away with it. So no matter the motives, he can kill again because he's killed 4 people and is now free. So don't ever underestimate the killer because you are assuming the narrative and the motives. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $BigAndrew129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are welcome. Thank you for your time. Please have a prosperous week. Be safe out shopping. Do not post to social media your goodies, especially if it's something you know is expensive that somebody might want to push your door open to get to your goods. Be careful who you talk to and tell your personal business to. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution and not the problem. such as gossiping and making up stuff on social media about the killer. Let me make that clear. You're playing a very dangerous game when you're implicating people in a crime with no proof. That is what the detectives and the FBI and state police are for. That is their job, not yours. And I will not participate in said games because I would not want it done to me. All you have to do is make one phone call in order to save a life, preserve a life. And the killer, whoever you are, just turn yourself in. Do yourself a favor. Save these parents and family members and children and students, staff and community the misery of wondering who you are and if they will be a next target or not. Just turn yourself in. Maybe a foolish thing I'm saying, but you need to turn yourself in because I think you will get the big head and you will try it again. Why not? But you may not be so lucky the next time. Just turn yourself in. Because you have no right to be walking around after you snuffed out those kids the way you did. And if I'm to believe that one of the children was a target to you, there's still no humane reasoning for it. Because we're all flawed and we've all made mistakes. And we've all given people a pass for doing and saying disrespectful things to us. And there comes a time when we have to just, as the scriptures say, turn the other cheek. It's hard sometimes. Hurt, humiliated, mocked, assaulted, physically, verbally, sexually. But we do not go out and kill people. And some people seem deserving, yes, I will admit it, to be executed for such heinous, atrocious things they've done to other human beings. But it depends on your interpretation of revenge. Let God or do it yourself or give it a pass. But you cannot walk around because you had no right stealing those kids' lives. And I pray that they didn't do anything spiteful to anyone that would lead to their demise or make all of their friends pay, because you do have people who would kill out of revenge. And some people may not want to discuss this, but it needs to be discussed because we don't know these kids. And it would be a shame to know that they all died from a nasty remark, a prank, a joke, a mockery. And he made them all pay. So this is why I tell you to be careful how you treat people and how you talk to people. Because you don't know the day that something you do or say may set somebody off and he or she enacts revenge against you, or they send a messenger. Because many people have died over words. No actions, no crimes, but just words. I'll be back with more commentary pertaining to the Idaho forest slayings. Prayers to the families, the students, the faculty, the staff, the university. And the university, you need your ass whipped for not putting that girl in the ceremonies. That was disrespectful to her as a student, disrespectful to her after death, disrespectful to her family, disrespectful to the student body, and disrespectful to a human being. She deserved much better than what she got. And this was an utter slap in her face and to her family. And you now show people that no matter how you die, we won't reward you nothing for your accomplishments. And then to send this stupid message out to put fear in the students and the town is unacceptable. And there needs to be some furniture moving around in the Moscow Police Department ASAP. Thank you for joining me. You all have a wonderful, wonderful week. God bless all of you. Happy shopping. Happy holidays. God bless all of you. Please beware of your surroundings. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you.